Hi, I'm John, and we're here to see how to create a brand new page in your WordPress site. First things first, let's make sure that we're actually logging in to the correct location. Right now we're looking at the V2 because the site is not yet published. But when it is published, that V2 will not be there, and you will go straight to lerepublicanwomen.com/WP login. Now once we're logged in, what we want to do is create a new page. So come over to the Pages menu option and select Add New. One thing to bear in mind is if you're ever stuck, much of the system has a help page available, and it's up in the right-hand corner at the top. When you select it, you'll see that there are comments, links, and related topics that are all listed there so that you can more easily work with the system. Now, let's go ahead and give this page a name. Names are important because they're used in creating links, in creating headings, and in referring to the page from other locations. Now, some of the page level items that I'd like to tell you about here. Save draft. It's pretty obvious. You're saving your work without necessarily publishing it for the world to see. Preview is a way of looking at what you currently have as a draft, and you're looking at it the way that the outside world will see it. The next very useful feature here is visibility. When it's public, as the default is, everyone in the world can see it once it's published. Password protected is a very useful feature if you have members that need to see information that can't be seen by others. I think you guys have maybe more than one page where you have documents, financials, some other information that you want protected. This is how you do that. And of course, this blue button here, or at least it's blue on my screen, is the publish button. When you publish something, it becomes visible to the world. So you want to use that only after you have in fact looked at it, made sure that you've got good spelling and good links, then you can go ahead and send it to the world to see. Now, if you've got a page that you don't want anymore, you can click this link here, Move to Trash. And we'll actually do that at the end of this so that we get rid of this test page since we don't want it for any other reason than to show you how to create a page. Page attributes. These apply to the page and its relationship to other pages and to the menu system. The parent page of any other page is usually the higher level in a hierarchy. And a good example for you is your officers page. So your officers would be the parent of the president bio, vice president bio, so on and so forth. So all of these pages have officers as the parent. In our case right now, we're going to create a test page with no parent, so it'll be at the top level on the menu. When you have multiple templates in your template, you can select them here. I would probably recommend against creating these right now so that your site has a unified look and feel until you're ready to start putting variation in, perhaps to denote different subsections of the site. For now, I would stick to the default. Finally, order. That is the numerical order of the page if you decide that you do not want them in alphabetical order. You probably will never actually enter a value there. Custom teaser, which is the next section down, is a way of enabling pages to have information available for carousels, sliders, and other dynamically generated and animated content. Right now, I don't think we've discussed any requirements in order for you to do that, so we're going to bypass that, and it's kind of an advanced feature. And the last feature for the page level is featured image. This one I encourage you to use. What it does is it assigns an image to the page that is not only visible inside the site, but it's also visible to the search engines. So if you post a page with information about upcoming elections, a special meeting that you're having, or pretty much anything else, maybe even fundraisers, you can attach an image to it, which will then be pulled along into every search engine that sees it. So that could end up giving you greater visibility. People love to see pictures. It takes them a little more to actually get in and read something. You might be able to draw them in with an image. Of course, I love Uncle Sam. Who doesn't? We're going to go ahead and set Uncle Sam as the featured image for this page. Now, in this particular session, all we're going to do is create a basic page. We'll get into some more advanced editing in the next session. You'll notice here I just typed 2 short sentences, and all I did was put the cursor in and start typing. And you'll see just above the area, the editing area, a bunch of icons that look a lot like Microsoft Word. And in fact, they work exactly the same way. If I want to make a particular portion of text bold, I just highlight it and hit the B. Italic, highlight it, and hit the I, and so on and so forth. Now, some of these other features here you might not be familiar with. Strike through is a feature that draws a line through the text. You may want to use that for corrections or some other emphasis where you want somebody to notice it differently than all the rest of your text. An unordered list is a list of items that do not have a sequence number next to them. Usually they just have a dot, a square, a check mark, something like that. So we're going to create the bulleted list. Now, once you're done entering your items for your list, all you have to do is press enter a second time, and it brings you back to normal editing mode. Now, the other kind of list is an ordered list or a numbered list. These all have sequence numbers, which automatically get entered based on how many you put and where you put them in the list. And again, just like the unordered list, press enter twice and it brings you back to regular editing mode. Next item is the block quote. Block quote is a special tag in HTML which separates out some text and quotes it for you. Now, I've done standard quoting in this sentence. And let's do a block quote so that when we do a preview, you can see how this looks to the outside world. And again, once you've done the block quote, you press enter again, and it will bring you back into regular editing mode. Next is a horizontal line. This is very useful for spacing items that are perhaps similar, somewhat related, but do need to be separated out. Now this line that I just entered is left justified. That's the default of all text in English. English is a left to right language, so you don't have to formally say align left. Now this sentence, we are going to center align. This sentence, we're going to align to the right. Now when we want to go back to align to the left, we just click on it, and we are back to the left. Now, you probably are pretty familiar with the concept of links. Links are the way that you connect one page to another, connect one website to another, connect content on one page to another part of a page. It's pretty much, forgive the pun, but one of the anchors of the internet. When you want to create a link, you highlight the text that you'd like to be associated, and then you click up at the top, Insert Edit Link. This is telling you where do you want it to go. So you enter it. You can change the text here if you want. Now this is a pretty cool and useful feature. You may have seen it working from time to time when you click on a link and go to another page. It opens in a new tab or a new window. This is useful when you have partners whose pages you want to open but do not want to take your visitor away and force them to come back via the back buttons, because if they continue to navigate, they may lose their place and not make it back to you. This way, we'll have two tabs open and we'll see your page very easily. Now we have enough information to create a link. However, there is some other stuff here that is useful. This is a search box. It allows you to look for anything that you have created within your site. The left side is the name, and the right side is the type of item that has been created. You can link to events, you can link to pages, you can link to posts, you can link to products if you were selling things. You can link to all different kinds of stuff. Now I clicked on one of these by mistake, and you'll notice what happened to change the URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it back. And I'm going to add the link. Now you'll see it's the underlined blue text, and that is what you would click on to go to the new location. I'm going to go ahead and select this link here. In this case, I'm going to say not to open it in a tab or window. But I just realized, oops, I made a mistake. I don't want to link that. It's very simple to remove the link by just double-clicking it, highlighting it, and then clicking the Remove Link button. Now you'll notice we're back to standard text. The next option we have here is for a Read More tag. Read More is something very common on websites where information is displayed in very tightly packed and compartmentalized components on the screen. What that does is it links from that particular representation of the partial information to the full information that resides behind it. Again, be it on a page, on a post, on an event, or any other item you've created inside the site. And of course, this is a way that you can show and hide the toolbar. Some of these other items on the toolbar and above it we'll get into in a more advanced editing course, so don't need to worry about that right now. At this point, we've entered enough information to be able to see something a little more than just a single line on a page. Now you'll notice, by the way, that none of what we have entered here looks anything at all like the template that you have applied to your site. Why is that? Because all we're doing here is editing content. When the page is rendered, either for a preview or for somebody actually viewing it, that's when the system takes content, combines it with the template to create the page that you will see actually on the screen. Now, not to be too confusing, let's go ahead and preview this and see what actually happens. So here we go. What the system did was it applied the menu, our logo, content we created, the image that we associated with the content, with the page, and there it is. All of the items that we entered. This is the block quote, as opposed to the manual quoting. Here's the link. This particular template that we're using does not show links as a bold blue. They're just barely blue and no underline. But in this case, the link is there. If you click on it, you'll notice that it in turn opens up the website in a new tab. I happen to be using Google Chrome. This works the same way whether you're using Internet Explorer, Firefox, Opera, or or any other web browser that is relatively modern. So there you have it. We have now created a brand new page. I'm going to go ahead and save the draft. And we'll go to all pages. Now the last thing I want to do is show you how to delete this page. Now, luckily we have a whole lot of pages here, which is great for our website search engine ranking. But it's not great when we want to delete something and it's buried somewhere inside the system. That's what this search pages function is for. So I'm going to look for the name that I put in. Oops, and I misspelled my own name. Look at that. I did it again. And there we go. It shows us who the author was, the name of the page, page's status, and then it gives us some options here, what we want to do. And all we're going to do here is send it to the trash. And now it's gone. So there you have it. We created a page, added some very basic content, viewed it within the context of the template, and finally deleted it. For other questions, please make sure you check the other training videos. And as always, we at Simbon Services are available to help and answer any questions. Thank you.